Unsurprisingly, the maddest league in the world provides plenty of mad moments. It's time to round up the maddest of them all. I'm Ryan Dilks from the second tier, and these are the top 20 WTF moments in the Championship from 2024. In part 1, we revealed 20 to 11. Go watch that if you haven't already. This is the top 10, baby. 10. Jason Molumby's pre-season scrap. Great way to start off the video. So we all know what pre-season is about: building up some fitness, getting some minutes under the belt, having a few friendlies. This was not friendly. West Brom were facing Real Mallorca in a behind closed doors game and it started to get a bit tasty. West Brom's Jason Molumby and Mallorca's Samu Costa clashed just before half time, and this happened.
Samu Costa també xerrant. Alerta ara.
Someone didn't get the friendly memo, did they? He absolutely lamps him as well. It's so needless. Molumby would go on to be banned for 5 pre-season matches. I didn't even realise pre-season bans were a thing. Maybe they just invented them for this one occasion, because it's thoroughly deserved. Number 9. Sheffield Wednesday's survival. It's good to have a less violent one next up, and this is a remarkable story. Sheffield Wednesday had a disastrous start to last season. They won just 2 points from their first 10 games, scoring 5 goals and conceding 18. It was the joint worst start to a season in Championship history. You add in the fact the club's owner was repeatedly putting out statements complaining about fans disrespecting him. They looked pretty much dead and buried before we even got a quarter of the way through the season. But in came German manager Danny Röhl. He would win 15 of his 35 games in charge. In fact, from the point he came in, they won the 9th most points in the Championship. And despite being in the bottom 3 from the second game week of the season all the way until the 3rd last, Sheffield Wednesday stayed up on the final day of the season. It's one of the most ridiculous turnarounds in a season that we've ever seen in the Championship. You also have to add in how underprepared the squad was after a turbulent pre-season. And also the fact that this was Danny Röhl's first ever job in management at the age of 34. An incredible season for him. Number 8. Ebou Adams' miss. It's not very often that you have a miss that shocks the world, but when they do happen, it is a glorious sight. Derby County were 1-0 up in the dying minutes of their game against Cardiff City. Cardiff got a last-minute corner, but it was cleared away. There's a momentary moment of confusion between a Cardiff player and the goalkeeper, which Derby's Ebou Adams is able to capitalise on. He knocks the ball past the keeper and has a free run at an open goal. He takes one touch, he gets to the edge of the box and puts it wide. Adams collapses to the floor, instantly realising he's had an absolute stinker. I think what makes it even better is the build-up, because you have a long period where you're thinking, this is a guaranteed goal. So for him to miss right at the end is an excellent plot twist. In fairness to Adams, I think he knows he's got a Cardiff player not far behind him, so when it comes to the actual moment, I think he just panics. Still though, Ebou, you got to be scoring them, mate. 7. A Birmingham fan scoring a screamer. Not many people get to kick a football on the pitch of the club they support in front of thousands of people. An even smaller number have scored a 30-yard worldie. After Birmingham City's relegation from the Championship on the final day of the season, fans invaded the pitch and one supporter managed to find a ball. What he did next was insane.
And now.
What are the chances of this happening? I absolutely love as well the fans celebrating as it goes in. It is a worldie though. He's properly connected with it. It stays flat and then it's gone right into the top corner. It's absolutely mad. It might actually be my favourite moment of 2024, but it's not the biggest WTF moment. 6. Militon Osmajic's bite. In September, Preston were playing local rivals Blackburn. The game was entering the final minutes with the score 0-0. It had been fairly uneventful up until that point. And then Preston striker Militon Osmajic is fouled and there was a bit of pushing and shoving. One thing led to another and Blackburn defender Owen Beck kicks a Preston player because he thought play was still going on. I'm not really sure. Anyway, Osmajic then grabs Beck from behind and proceeds to bite him on the back of the neck. Bit of a strange place to bite someone, isn't it, if you are going to do it, but anyway. Beck then turns to the assistant referee and points to the back of his neck, essentially saying, he's just bit me, and the referee brings out the red card for Owen Beck. He gets sent off for the previously mentioned kick. Osmajic gets away with a yellow card. A great bit of shithousery came after the game where Blackburn's Andy Vyman put 2 posts on social media. On Instagram he said, "Not at our best today, but we take the point away from home. A lot of bite in the game today." And then on Twitter, he said, "Not at our best today, but we take the point away from home to continue our unbeaten run." Osmajic didn't get away with it though. Not long after, he was charged by the FA and he was given an 8-game ban and fined £15,000. Must have left a sour taste in the mouth. This video is brought to you by our good friends at SBK. If you haven't heard of them yet, then where have you been? SBK's comprehensive range of markets and exclusive offers makes it the best place to bet on the Championship this season. Whether you're creating an accumulator or customising your bet builder, SBK has got you covered. Don't believe us? Sign up today and find out. Number 5, Kwadwo Baah's Fortnite dancing. A very recent addition to this list, and it's because it's one of the funniest, cringiest and just genuinely maddest moments I think I've ever seen in the Championship. In December, Watford came from a goal down to beat Portsmouth 2-1 with a last-minute winner. Watford's Kwadwo Baah had been getting a lot of stick from the travelling Portsmouth fans during the game, so he went over to rub it in their faces after the late collapse. Understandably, the Portsmouth players weren't too happy. This is how Baah responded. I don't know if it's because I'm getting old, but I don't understand why your first reaction when you see a group of angry men running towards you would be to do this. It's very funny seeing something as childish as this happening though, and if Fortnite dancing is going to become the new norm, then I'm sure I'll get used to it in time. Baah did get sent off after this incident, and it will surely go down as one of the most bizarre red cards we've ever seen at this level. But not the most bizarre of 2024. 4. Ipswich Town's promotion. This is arguably the most remarkable achievement in Championship history. It's as simple as that. This year, Ipswich Town became the first team in 12 years to win back-to-back promotions to the Premier League. That's impressive enough, but there's added factors here as well. They did it with virtually the same squad they had in League One. The 10 players who played the most minutes were all with them the season before. They also got promoted while competing against 3 teams with some of the biggest budgets we've ever seen at Championship level in Leicester, Leeds and Southampton. They also recorded the best points tally ever for a second place side in Championship history, all while playing brilliant attacking football under their terrific manager Kieran McKenna. A truly astonishing feat which is only becoming more and more difficult to replicate. 3. A 36-second sending off. In October, Luton Town's Liam Walsh clearly had other places to be. He came on as a substitute against Oxford in the 76th minute. 36 seconds after walking onto the pitch, he was given a straight red for a 2-footed lunge. This is what I expect my substitute to do on Football Manager when I tell him to get stuck in. It's a shocking tackle as well. No one can defend it. The only person who seemed shocked when the red card came out was Liam Walsh himself. To make matters worse, 2 months later, he would do the same again, except this time it was 11 minutes after coming on as a sub. So I guess it's an improvement. And Carlton Morris, his captain, was not happy with him. He gave him a right earful as he was walking off. He was pushing him and shoulder barging him off the pitch. To do it once is silly. To do it twice in 2 months is just stupid. 2. Mick Beale's burner account. Oh boy, buckle up. This is a juicy one. We talked about Mick Beale's disastrous spell at Sunderland earlier in this top 20, but long story short, Sunderland fans never took to him and he was sacked after just 2 months in charge. Well, around the time of his sacking, a Twitter account called Player ID had been posting pro-Mick Beale tweets. It includes defending him for not shaking Trey Hume's hand and retweeting a post criticising Sunderland's owners. Going even further back, it also defended Mick Beale when he was the Rangers manager. Now, you might be thinking a bit odd, but maybe they're just coincidence. Well, a tweet from 7 years ago would imply that the account in fact belonged to Mick Beale himself. A LinkedIn post by Mick Beale would go on to mention the Player ID podcast as well, but then the cherry on top was this. The previous bio of the Player ID Twitter account, home of the Player ID podcasts, hosted by Mick Beale. Now, it is worth mentioning that Mick Beale himself has denied that he's behind this account. Whether you believe that or not, it's up for you to decide. But what we can say is it's definitely linked to him. It might be a friend or a family member. Who knows? Whatever the case, it's not a good look and definitely one of the most bizarre incidents of 2024. And the number 1 WTF moment of 2024. Illan Meslier's clanger. I think this just has to be number one because I was sat watching this game at home, and when it happened it took me so long to figure out what had happened, and I'm still not totally sure now what actually happened. It's the 96th minute of Leeds United's big promotion clash away at Sunderland. Leeds are 2-1 up and look as if they're about to get a huge 3 points and become the first away team to win at the Stadium of Light this season. Sunderland get a free kick and it's lumped forward. In the end, Sunderland's Alan Brown knocks it very tamely towards goal. It's an easy one for Illan Meslier to deal with, but somehow it goes past him and Sunderland get a 96th minute equaliser. Meslier looks around completely confused about what's just happened. When you watch every replay back, it's extremely difficult to figure out what actually happened. Trust me, I've watched it about 100 times at this stage, and the only thing I can possibly come up with is that maybe it doesn't bounce as high as it perhaps should. But there's nothing moving it to the side or anything like that, so how he's not just got his body in front of it, I have no idea. If this clanger happened in any game in any minute, then it would still feature on this list, but the fact that it happens in the 96th minute of a huge promotion clash where Leeds are 2-1 up, that makes it the biggest WTF moment in the Championship of 2024 without a doubt. So there we have it. This has been the top 20 WTF moments in the Championship from 2024. What do you think has been the biggest WTF moment? Let me know in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe for more content like this. I've been Dilks from the Second Tier, and we'll be back again very soon.